Kia ora, good evening. I'm just settling down for the night. I've just been watching everything that's going on with Elon Musk and everything, and it's so interesting because I'm watching God lay my future out right in front of my eyes with entertainment, video games, even my space program, because I'm watching Elon Musk's world being dismantled, and it's opening a door for me to take over. For example, people are resigning from his XAI, from Tesla, because Tesla's just hemorrhaging money. It's just become a joke. His space program, he's running out of money. People are walking away from him. People are resigning from his companies hand over fist. The world is seeing him for the con man that he is. And I've just been reading an article, I'll put the links in the description box below, of how people are saying that X is so biased now and so corrupt that he's offering $1 million to any of his favourites, most read articles in a month. So any of the ones that he doesn't shadow ban, like Night World, for example, because he's involved in that. If they can get the most followers and the most reads and the most this and the most that in a month, they'll win $1 million. Because he's that desperate, because he's hemorrhaging money and he's trying to come up with ways to attract more of the people that suit his narrative, the ones that don't get involved in his politics. Because you automatically get shadow banned if you mention Palestine, if you criticise Russia, not Russia, sorry, Israel. In his algorithm, you immediately get shadow banned. So he's biased. It's biased content. And this article I was reading is saying that people are done with Twitter. That Twitter's dead. He's killed it. And people are like, well, where do we go from here? And it's like, well, just wait until I get my server. And I know I call it my server, but you don't know what I've designed. It'll make sense once you know what I've designed. Just wait until I get my server created, and then you'll have my version of Twitter. You'll have my version of Facebook. You'll have my version of YouTube. You'll have my version of Instagram. You'll have my version of all of them. Discord. You'll have my version of Telegram. People, remember I did that video with my boys and I on the bus, and we were listening to those two men talking about how they miss radio, radio stories, but when they were kids and they used to tune into the radio and listen to the stories. And I said to the boys, oh my God, that's exactly what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. With my time jumping detective, that was originally a radio story, which still can be. While I'm getting everything set up, I've got so many stories like the Soul Collector series, the Quantum Menace sagas. They're all stories that I can do over the radio. And it's like I'm sitting here watching Disney get torn down because of the whole Epstein thing, Hollywood getting torn apart, the music industry getting torn apart. Beyonce and Jay-Z are getting dragged through the mud. And it's like, I always said that God was going to give me Disney, that he was going to let me take over Disney and the music industry. Hang on, just having a sip. But I'm watching him dismantle even the video games industry. How the company that made Fortnite got called out for bullshitting about the Jeffrey Epstein account and blah, blah, blah. And of course, as you know, what I was talking about the other day with how I'm going to be the games company that stands up to insider sexual predator dynamics in the video games industry and that sort of thing. But it's like I'm sitting back on my star, watching the world fall down around my feet, and it's like God's going to let me build my empire from the rubble. Everything that's getting torn apart is all stuff I'm going to be creating. Even the fashion industry's getting, because of the modelling agencies connected to Jeffrey Epstein and Zelensky and Keir Starmer and, the trafficking and the debauchery with pedophiles and all of that sort of thing. It's all in the areas that I'm going to be getting involved in when I build my foundation. And people are saying, well, what are we supposed to do now? Excuse me, I'm drinking sparkling water and it's going to make me burp, unfortunately. I only drink sparkling water. I don't drink any other kind of water. Where do we go from here? What do we do? Like, movies are shit, music's shit. It's all political, it's all corrupt, they're all tied to Epstein, they're all tied to Israel, blah, blah, blah. Where do we go from here? I'm building my fire to keep everybody warm. I'm going to take over the movie industry, traditional family movies, even my horror movies. My movies are going to be fun for people to watch, but the thing is, the way my son and I wrote all of this stuff, the way that I've written all of this stuff, it's going back to the days when entertainment was good. It's going back to I'm creating the things that, like the Gen Xers and that used to love when we were kids, and the traditional family values and that the boomers grew up with, where Disney seemed innocent and all of that, but will be pure of heart, made with children, made for children, made by children, where we're all helping children, where we're all reminding everybody of what tradition means and family values mean. And even my space program with X hemorrhaging money, it's only a matter of time before that goes down. And it's like, even with my space program, it's going to bring people together when I combine. Oh God, I wish I could tell you everything. I'd love to be able to sit down with my man, with my people, with my whatever, and just tell them everything. I hate having to hold all of this stuff in, but when my gaming chair is combined with my space program, it's going to revolutionise not only space navigation, but people's experience with God, especially if, like, you're terminally ill, or it's hard, I can't go into it yet, but yeah, my gaming chair's gonna change the world. Remember I had that dream the other day where I was popping the blackheads and scraping them off me, and then I popped that pimple and it splooshed out. But remember I had that rare Game Boy in my hand that I couldn't tell anyone about. That's my gaming chair. My gaming chair, what I've invented with my gaming chair, is going to change the face of entertainment, video games, space flight. you know, and that's going to be my empire. My empire is going to be, you know, selling the traditional family values, selling wholesome family entertainment other than my Halloween stuff. But that's still like in the style of, you know, the original horror movies, Friday the 13th, and, you know, the good old slasher films. I'm one of these people as an entrepreneur where I'm like see a need, fill a need kind of person. And I have been observing for many, many years now people crying out for the way things used to be. Innocent children's TV without the propaganda and the woke bullshit, without the politics and the fear and the dread and the, you know, good, wholesome family entertainment like Fraggle Rock. But I'll have Miss Jodine and friends, and so I'm sitting here watching it all fall apart thinking, thank you, I'll take that. That'll be mine. I'm 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 supposed to have a male counterpart. We're supposed to be the example of, you know, a good, solid, wholesome marriage. We're supposed to be the example of, you know, what a good, solid marriage looks like, where they treat each other with respect, where they have each other's back, where they don't engage in outside gossip or propaganda being thrown at them to try and keep them apart. No cheating, no disrespect, um, climb every hurdle, solve every problem together. Still waiting. So I'm doing it on my own. When they don't step up, it's like, why wait? Like I'm not waiting for them to step up. I got to keep moving. I can't slow down for anybody. What I'm creating is going to be awesome. What I'm creating is going to make people so happy, because no fuss, no mess, no propaganda, no woke, no titles, no entitlement, no special treatment, all just coming together, whether you're a customer, a client, an employee, talent, for the sake of the children. But I'll be building a version of Twitter and Facebook and that's child friendly, where there'll be designated areas for, you know, things for over 16, where the parents can unlock things. But there'll be no pornography. I will not allow any kind of pornography or sexual content on my social media whatsoever. I will not have AI. You will not be able to use AI to ask questions. You'll do it the old-fashioned way. Either Google it or I was going to say go to a library, but how modern are libraries now? You know, I will not engage in AI in any way, shape or form. Our movies will be traditional, old school with some digitals, but our promise was no AI. When you step into the gates of my foundation, and if I get to buy this place in Switzerland that I've fallen in love with, you will step through literal gates. You're going to feel like you're stepping back in time to your childhood, or to like, you know, for younger people, younger than the Gen X down, you're going to feel like you're stepping into paradise, because it's going to be a place of peace and calm. Even when we're running about having fun and there's madness going on with movie shoots and all of that sort of thing, everybody knows when they walk through those gates, they at any moment could be the part, like being in one of the kids' music videos or in one of our ads or commercials or something like that. Everybody knows that at any point they may be um, cast as background people. Some of them may even get lines. Just you just don't know. But it's everyone coming together to have fun, to encourage the children to keep on going with their creativity. Um, so people are like, they don't know what to do because they're seeing, like Facebook, Meta, they're seeing Meta getting sued. Um, Twitter's crashing. It's, yeah, and it's people don't know what to do, and it's like, just wait a little bit longer. Just let me get my programmers and my artists and all of that. Um, QE2 games will make all of that sort of stuff. They'll my programmers and that they'll all be doing that sort of stuff with me. So, or for me, with me and for me. um, my sons and I have had very extensive conversations about my service, so we know what we're doing. We'll sit down with the right people and get it made. It's going to take a little while, but while I'm on the road doing my talent show, finding my talent and, making my little shows and stuff, it gives them time to build everything in the background. Then once the server's up and running, we can start chucking stuff on it pretty quickly. But the game changer for me is when I build my gaming chair. We even contemplated making a console. It's a risky investment. Like what happened with the PS5. So yeah, but it's I'm sitting here watching, and it's like I'm picking up everything that Elon Musk and the entertainment and music and video games industry, social media industry, they dropped the ball, and I'm picking them up. And it's like God saying, right, you can have that now. You can take over music now, because I'll have my own music company. I'll have my own talent agency. I'll have my own publishing company. For writing the books, for publishing the kids' books, including my own. I'll have my own movie production company, TV production company, radio station, social media, games company, fashion house, concert venue, doing it all myself. I've built my fire, and I'm getting ready to light it. And it's not a fire of destruction, it's a fire of creation. I'm watching God burn it all down so that I can use the embers to light my fire. And it's awesome. The thing with Tesla is that, see, I became a biorhythmic engineer when I originally came up with the idea to create a kinetic engine where you would use your mind to drive the car. But in studying Tesla and all of that, I realised that kinetic energy is unstable in the mind of a person who's unbalanced psychologically. If they experience or even believe in the paranormal, a kinetic engine would be a recipe for disaster. So, yeah. So then I tweaked my idea of a kinetic engine and ended up with the biorhythmic field generator. And then I thought, and then they were gone. I wrote about it when I was locked up in my story, and then they were gone. Where Brehena comes down and it shows B how to use the biorhythmic field generator so she can use it to stop seeing all the dead people every time she goes to the hospital to visit her grandma. And then after I wrote it, I was thinking, realistically, how am I going to build it? Because I want everyone to be able to have access to it. I can put the BFG inside like night lamps, and I will design my own night lamps and that sort of thing that are have the BFG in it. But I need people to be able. Well, I need people to be able to take it out into the desert, into the rain, into the Amazon, into the Siberia, to the Ural Mountains, wherever there's paranormal activity. And what do I do if they run out of batteries? I don't want to be making a lot of things that need batteries because of the fact that batteries are not good for the planet and lithium ones are destroying the planet. Um, so then I had to tweak the design and came up with a way to build a BFG. I actually had a dream about it where the Virgin Mary called me to this church in what looked like Argentina. And there was the padre in the garden, and she asked me to help cross her children over. And she asked me to use the BFG, and it was in that dream I got to see what the BFG was, the biorhythmic field generator. And that's when I changed it, solidified the design so that it's 100% organic and natural because of Tesla and his study of the pyramids. When I looked into it properly, I think I was having my first roast dinner here in this flat, and I was thinking about an article that I'd just seen on YouTube, and I was thinking about it in regards to Nikola Tesla. And I realised what he was doing, so then I started researching it, and I was like, oh, I know what he was doing to do with his direct energy weapon and time travel and all of that. And so I came up with an organic version. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, it doesn't matter the weather, you'll be able to use my BFG and set it so that when it locks in place, it will use a force or frequency that like radiates out, like spans out. Um, sorry, that spans out like a pulse that will remove paranormal activity and negative energy. It's environmentally friendly because what it does is it lifts all that pressure off Papatūānuku as well. So you'll have less natural disasters in the area. Natural disasters, not man-made ones. Um, it will relieve her of everything that she's absorbed throughout history. It helps cleanse her and clear her of the ghosts that she's been forced to hold on to because of what she's witnessed through the abhorrent behaviours and actions of mankind. So it's earth friendly because it actually helps her. Because as an Indigenous person, it's my duty to protect my grandmother and, my mysteries inside histories. Mysteries inside history shows, um, excuse me, it's because I'm drinking. sparkling water. Um, and with my character Ruby Cotter's on the Soul Collector, you know, she goes back in time. She works for the Historical Grief Department, the Historical Grief Division of law enforcement for the Ministry of Souls, right? So, historical grief, mysteries inside history, um, going back in the past to solve and clear up mysteries, and where there's been death and murder and grief and sorrow and torment and suffering, I investigate them and then I eradicate it. I solve it. I give a voice to the victims. I cleanse it. I clear it. Because where there's paranormal activity, where there's, you know, places where people are too scared to go, or where there's weird anomalous behaviour or anything like that, is because Papatūānuku, grandmother, earth, mother nature, whatever you want to call her, she's holding on to it. She's witnessed things and she's holding on to it. We've caused historical trauma in our planet because of the morons that think they're in charge of everything since the dawn of time, since we learned to pick up sticks and whack people with them when we were chimpanzees. And she holds on to it because she's a massive energy bubble. She's a massive. She's made up of every kind of atom there is in the universe, and she's absorbed it all, and she's reflecting it back. And we, as energetic frequencies ourselves, we pick up on it, and we behave and act accordingly. And it's my duty as the gatekeeper, as the Holy Spirit bloodline, as the as an Indigenous person, the granddaughter of Mother Earth, Papatūānuku, Te Whiti, Gaia, whatever you want to call her. It's my role as her granddaughter to look after my elders in the same way I look after grandfather of the sky and grandfather moon and grandmother sun and all of that. I look after my grandmother Papatūānuku because I came from her. I rose from the volcanoes of New Zealand, and it's my job to look after her. All Indigenous people, it's our job to look after our grandmother, and I get to do that, and I'll show people how to do that. And when my path is cleared, and He's clearing my path, God is definitely clearing my path, I'll be able to step into everything and say to people, here you go, enjoy Twitter, free speech, no rules, just be prepared for the fact that people will hold you accountable if you're caught lying. People will hold you accountable. So, you take responsibility for your own actions when you engage on our social media. If you're lying or you're causing trouble, people, it's fair game. Just be mindful of the fact that there might be children watching or children engaging. There will be no bullying, there'll be no disrespect. If you're going to be an arsehole, people are going to treat you like one. Because with everything I'm building, I'm holding everybody accountable for their own conduct and behaviour, knowing that they're all perfectly aware that there's children about. And if they don't act accordingly to be a digital and physical society that takes responsibility for how we raise the children within that digital and physical society, then you'll be cast out. Because my whole thing is that I'm trying to bring people together who want to, I'm trying to create a village that raises the children properly. It takes a village to raise a child. I truly, truly believe in that. I know some people are like, ah, but it really does take a village to raise a child. And how we all treat each other is going to have a direct result on who that child grows up to be. And so my village will be villagers who they might have to pull the child up for, you can't talk like that, or that's unacceptable behaviour, or, where they're pulled up for negative behaviour. But then the children will be allowed to pull the adults up for negative behaviour as well. I'm a child, you can't act like that, it's embarrassing. That sort of thing. Without being shouted down. I'll have monitors. I'm not going to leave monitoring up to AI. Things will be flagged, things will be looked at, things will be judged accordingly and decided accordingly. And there'll be compromises and agreements. There won't be none of this bullshit where, you're flagged and then they delete your channel. We'll delete your stuff if you do really, really bad things. But it's more going to be like saying to the villagers, well, what do you think we should do? Using common sense, logic, doubt, reason, compromise. What do you think we should do? It takes a village to raise a child, but the villagers are also going to be responsible for the conduct and behaviour of the other villagers as well. And my version of X and Facebook and Instagram and all of that is going to be a way happier, calmer place where you can post whatever you want. You can say whatever you want, but you take personal responsibility for it. Just if there's anything involving real death, it would be relegated to a locked area that children can't have access to, and there will be no pornography and no sex. You can talk about, in your relationships about how much you want to lust after someone, and you can put up like dirty things in that, but no naked bodies, no intercourse, no nothing like that. Just straight out, no sex, no pornography. You can be flirty and sexy, but not pornography. There'll be no women in bikinis pretending like they just happened past a camera when they're all primed and primed and ready to go and their plastic boobs hanging out, and there'll be none of that. None of that. I'm pretty much of the mind of if you don't want to see your sister and mum and your daughter being poofed over, or your wife or your girlfriend poofed over, then don't watch it, because you have to remember that this could one day, like this is someone's mum, this is someone's sister, this is someone's auntie, this is someone's daughter, this is someone's girlfriend and wife that you're perving at, that you're creating this content for. One day it could be yours. What if it's yours? Would you want people looking at your daughter like that? Would you want people looking at your wife like that? Would you want people looking at, and because trust me, I know I've posted things in the past to do with to help with my body dysmorphia and to help me get my confidence for when I've got to do publicity shots and stuff that I know that men in my life haven't been happy that I've put up, including my sons. I mean, nothing raunchy, but misinterpreted for sure. But it's like, if you wouldn't want other men doing that to the women in your life, don't do it to the women in other men's lives. I'm that kind of person. I'm the sort of person, when I'm in love, I only have eyes for the man I'm in love with. I don't even find other men attractive in any way, shape or form. Unless I'm saying stuff to boost their confidence. Like, I know that I've had male friends in my life where they've needed a confidence boost. Just women do that. Women have this because we're the nurturers. And so we will give the men compliments just like we'll give the women compliments to boost their confidence. But I've been single for how long? So, yeah, but when I'm in love, I only have eyes for my man. And whoever takes the throne beside me will be my equal. And now that I've worked out the algorithm of what my equal is, I know exactly what I'm looking for. I know who my man is. I just haven't met him. He's not someone I've talked to on the phone. He's not someone I've met in person or anything like that. But, like, I know him with every fibre of my being now that I've perfected the algorithm. But see, my dating app is going to be like none of the other dating apps. I'm seeing a need and I'm filling a need, and God's tearing the old world down so that I can build my new world from the rubble. I was thinking about it today. See, when I find my counterpart, when he's in my life and we've established our relationship and stuff, he'll have to, when I have to do the rare thing where I'm dressed up as Brehena Saithusa, if I'm the dragon queen, he'll be the dragon king. And so he'll have to, like, put on a performance with me and dress up with he'll have to wear a crown and wear, like, all the king's garb. We'll have to sit on our thrones and do, like, a whole thing for the kids. We'll come walking in, me with my gowns and crowns, and he'll have, like, his suit on with his little tassels and medals and sword at his side, and oh, it's going to be so cool, like Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. Oh, I can't wait. Like, he's going to have to be up for it, because having an actor, like some random actor, to be the Moon King would just be weird. It has to be the man I'm married to. It's just going to be so cool. She won't make an appearance all the time, but when she does, it's going to be magic. So, yeah, so I'm watching everyone eat Elon Musk alive, other than his plebs, who are just mindless zombies. And, I'm watching him getting eaten alive. I'm watching him lose everything. Like, they're ripping him to shreds. It's fabulous. Because that's what he wanted for me. Everything he wanted for me is now happening to him. That's why I love being a karmic judge, eh? But everything that he's losing will soon become mine, with the exception of the cars, because I love cars. I love classic cars. But I have no interest in being his rival for Tesla, because I personally, we're going to go back to, diesel and petrol cars, because electric vehicles, people are realising that they're a waste of money and they're destroying the planet. They're not a good replacement. So yeah, if I was going to design a car, it would be because I'd be a petrol head. I love classic cars. I love going for long drives and all of that, and I wouldn't be wanting to do it in an electric vehicle. They make men infertile. The lithium batteries, they they make men infertile. My boys and I don't travel on any eco-bus because of what they do to the men's testicles. So, yeah, you know, men are driving around creating their own infertility, and I don't want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of a world where we're having lots of babies, making lots of babies, populating the earth, but where the mums and dads are genuinely in love with each other. The world that I create will be a world where when couples get married, it's for life and not for the wedding and Instagram photos. I'm old school traditional. even with me being a businesswoman and entrepreneur and mum, I'm going to still cook my meals every day. I might have a housekeeper because I'm busy, but I mean, I'll still fold washing and I'll still hoover, but I'll have a housekeeper. But I will cook my meals every day. I will be cooking the meals. I will be feeding my family with my apron on and my bare feet. Always, whenever I cook in that, I always wear my apron, my bare feet, my hair up, music playing. I'm the queen of my castle. Old school traditional, that's me. Have dinner parties, have Christmas parties for my staff where I do all the food, finger food, party food, that sort of thing, where I get to wear my 1950s style dresses, dress like Lucille Ball and all that. I love that style. I mean, my fashion will be different eras, but yeah, for certain things, it's going to be that whole 30s, 40s, 50s kind of Hollywood glam. Bring back old school traditional where women looked like women. I want to start the trend of women using compact mirrors again. I swear I'm the only woman in the world that walks around with a compact mirror, touching up my lip gloss and checking on my face and all of that. So yeah, I want to make it a thing again where women act like women, and I might have some tattoos on my body and that, but that's a cultural thing. But it doesn't make me less of a woman. I'm just not covered in head to toe. My tattoos actually mean something symbolically. It's to do with my indigeneity. Um, but yeah, I want to bring back class and etiquette and high standards. The way that I act, especially when I'm Brehina Saithusa in my gowns and stuff. You have no idea the thousands of hours I've spent working on my hand and head movements and, you know, ugh, when I'm her, because she's regal. So I've had to learn how to act regal and carry myself like I'm regal. That regal flow, that regal feminine grace, that's what I've been practicing and rehearsing. That's why I've had to take all my earrings out and my tongue piercing. I'm going to design lingerie and nightwear and sleepwear that's specifically for women to wear for their husbands. That's classy and, you know, traditional, that has that old school flair to it. I'm bringing it all back. I'm reviving it. I'm creating the new renaissance. So, and I'm creating a new art movement. And wherever there's art, there's money. Wherever I situate myself, I can guarantee you within about 10 years, house prices will rise. House prices always rise wherever there's an artist colony. Business always gets boosted wherever there's an artist colony. Money follows the art, just like it follows the gays. So, yeah. So I'm going to go now. I might make myself a coffee. I don't usually have coffee this late, but I feel like to just have a nice roast. So I'm going to go, but yeah, it's interesting. I'm sitting up here on my North Star watching it all get torn to pieces, thinking, God's clearing the path, and I'm taking everything that's been torn down and building from it. taking the embers and I'm lighting my fire. I'm creating my fire with it. A Foundational Arts and Entertainment Academy. And God willing, my space program. I know CERN's in Switzerland, but I've been forbidden from engaging with CERN. The Council of Elders won't let me. I'm not allowed to work with NASA either. So, but my space program's not going to have the kind of, it won't need the kind of budget that NASA and SpaceX have. I just need the right person. I know his name is David because I dreamt about him, to help me take what I was told in my head and put it into practical terms. But the size of what I've built is no bigger than a Yaris. It's more like a pod, I guess, like my gaming chair. Anyway, so I'm going to go. And wait and see. Wait and see what happens. I know that I'm getting ready to walk out the door. I can feel it with every fibre of my being. I'm already mentally deciding what's going to get binned and what's going to get donated. Hiring a skip, chucking everything in the skip. What goes in the skip, what gets donated. I've already looked up flights, rentals, places to rent, houses to rent. We'll probably, if we fly in through Zurich, we'll probably have to stay in Zurich for a few weeks until I can get like a personal assistant and PR manager, and then I can go and check out the properties and that. So yeah, I've been pricing everything up, checking it all out, checking out the visas, and yeah. And they even have, they sell CBD oil over there, and they have medical marijuana, so that's one thing. I'm trying out the CBD oil at the moment. So, yeah, if I can at least do that where I don't have to worry about pain, then it's helping with some things, but it's not helping with the scar pain. I was in quite a bit of pain today. I can't get rid of the scar pain. I even upped the CBD dosage, but it's not helping the scar pain from where my scars split open from the vomiting. It's done quite a bit of damage, and I can't get rid of it. So I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. It's experimental at this point, but it's better than nothing. It's helping enough that it's better than nothing. Put it that way, between that and the oregano oil. So, yeah. Right, so I'm going to go. God's just handing me everything on a silver platter. But he gave me the Midas touch. I got the gift of the Midas touch, so everything that I create turns to gold. And everything he creates turns to poop. And he's in total denial about it, which is just hilarious to watch because people are just ripping him to shreds. All his staff are resigning. He's losing staff hand over fist because they don't, and this is what people keep saying, nobody wants to be associated with a paedophile. Nobody wants to be associated with anyone associated with Jeffrey Epstein. And people know what he was getting up to, him and his brother Kimball and all that. People know the truth now, and they're distancing themselves. There was someone on Twitter that was saying that he worked with someone, or his name was on the list or something. His wife's left him. His kids don't want to know him. All his staff have quit because they don't want to be associated with anyone who's associated with Jeffrey Epstein. And he said he's not on the list, but he, he was associated with him. And just by being associated with him, his wife has left him. And his kids don't want to have anything to do with him. And his family don't talk to him. All his friends have distanced themselves. He's become like a social pariah, which is exactly what I said would happen. the the ancient prophecy said that, and in regards to me as well, everyone who teamed up to try and stop me from saving the children would become the most hated people in the world. That nobody would have anything to do with them. Their own family members would their kids would change their last names and to distance themselves, which didn't make sense back then, but it does now, because everybody who did this to me is now all connected to the Epstein grooming gang, pedophile sexual predator conglomerate. So even like my husband, my ex-husbands, my students, all of that, they're all going down with Jeffrey Epstein, because they all helped Elon Musk and Donald Trump and that try and stop me, Hillary Clinton, Keir Starmer and that, to try and stop me, and these were all people that are on the list. So even just by associating with people on the list, you're going to be guilty by association, and the world's going to hold you responsible accordingly. So because my story's getting out, and people know what Chris and Martin and Nikki and Beth and Rhea and Jose and all that did, Rocio, Courtney, because people are now finding out what they did, it's going to have a knock-on effect. And it's already starting to happen. People distancing themselves. Nobody will give them jobs. Nobody will rent them houses. They'll become like the plague. So, and I'm watching it happen, and it's like, oh my God. But it's God clearing the path. He's pulling the towers down, setting everything on fire and clearing the path. And then I get to rebuild from the rubble. So, yeah, with the backlash that happened with the Dear Satan cause that Paramount Plus made after Donald Trump and his daughter-in-law, Kushner, sold to them, because they're buying Paramount Plus. When I come along and sue their asses and take all that money to make the actual animated version, yeah, people are ready to know the truth now. People see the truth in me, and they're trusting me, and they're starting to follow me. So when I'm ready to look for stuff, when I'm ready to look for investors and that, it's going to be all there, ready to go. I won't even have to do a thing. They'll come to me. That's what my teacher said. That's what God said as well. Everyone would come to me. I wouldn't have to do anything. They'd all come to me. And then I get to choose and pick who I bring with me. I get to choose. So, yeah, I'm going to go. I'll speak to you later. Ka kite anō.